Good evening. Well, we just had a little drawing last time, and we have made a design of a female gothic comic character. And today we'll be starting to ink the pencils, and I'll just start right away. So this is our character from the last session. I corrected some parts of her, but generally speaking, that is just how we left off last time. So, okay, now I am going to add a layer right on the upper right part of the iPad. There we have the layers, and the layer right now where the pencils are is layer 1, and I'll put another layer on top of it for the inking. And I really like the feature in Manga Studio Paint, or in Clip Studio Paint, how it's renamed now, that you could just make color layers. So you can draw on a layer and then change the color after making your design, after making the drawing. And well, there's no color layer in Procreate, but we can simulate this using a new layer, adding a mask, putting the color of the ink into the layer itself, and oh no, that was wrong, this one. So into the layer itself, and then inverting the mask, which is not necessary right now because I put accidentally the black color into the mask, but usually I'll just do this that way, that we're having the mask white, meaning that everywhere where you see white on the mask, that the complete color from the masked layer will be seen. In this case, this will be black. That's because that's the reason for the drawing all becoming completely black. And now I'll just invert this, the mask, and now we see the drawing again. And now if I choose to change the color of my pencil back to white, and I'm drawing in the mask, I can, well, actually I think I don't even have to change the color. I can just leave it at black. That's enough. And Procreate gets it, does it? No, it doesn't get it. Okay, so you have to change to white. All right. But then you can draw as though you are drawing right on the mask, but you can still keep it directable. You can still change the color of your drawing afterwards, which helps quite a lot once all the inking is done and the coloring is done, and you want to change the overall look of it. And well, yeah, let's see how that works. Okay, right now the layer is set up. I'll lock the color layer so I don't accidentally erase something there or change it, and I'll change the transparency of the drawing we made last time, so I can actually differentiate between the drawing and the pencils and the ink. So going back to the layer, locking the pencils, and now we're drawing inside the mask. Okay, now let's see what tool we might take. I pre-configured Procreate with an ink drawing tool, this one here, but any one of these of the inking tools, or if you are trying to use, for example, I think the ink bleed. I don't know if that was generic. Was that pre-configured, or did I do that? I don't know. And then there are several options to choose from. You might want to just test some of them out and look what feels best to you. All right, so now we're set, and well, does it actually do what I want? Yeah. Okay. Right. There we are. Good. And now let's switch to this one. now so we can see the drawing much better. All right, now I still need to activate the drawing assist. Does this? Yeah, it does. Okay, the drawing assist, so I don't have to redraw both halves of the face, so I get a bit faster. And I'll start with the outline of the hair, not with the eraser, but with the inking tool, something like that. It's a bit rough. Maybe I should reconfigure the tool somewhere. Maybe it's a bit too rough. Maybe. Let's fix this right now. Come on. Here's the inking, and then we've got the shape is okay, but that's blending grain. Where do we have it? Stroke path, I think. Streamline is okay. Tapering, that is all right. Scatter count, right. I think that could make it a bit smoother. All right, then let's test this. Yeah, okay, that looks a bit better. Okay, now clear layer. Yeah, that's all right. And now I'll begin again from the top right down here. And then I'll restart over here and maybe get the, okay, the eraser should work like that. Oh, okay. So now I'll just start again with at the top with the hair. There are some features which are not symmetrical, so I'll leave out the non-symmetrical features for now and just go with anything I wanted to do symmetrically. So like that. Maybe not quite like that. Okay. Okay. Right. Then we are having some strands of hair on this side, and some parts of the ear are also blocked by the strands. And then afterwards we've got the silhouette of the ear, and then I go down there. Let's have an outline right here, going down like that. All right, so there we are. By the way, if you've got any questions, you may just put them into the chat box, and then I'll answer them after the stream. We've got a little Q&A session then. So there we are. Then maybe the folding inside of the ear. Well, I think that would work. Right, now let's go to the cheekbones, right there, and only the outer line, the jawline, and it matches. All right, so something like that. Maybe we could improve a bit on the no, that was not intended, on the line thickness over here. I don't want the, yeah, right, this one. So the inking tool, not the eraser, just like that. And we could thicken this part right there. Okay, now good. Now let's have a look at the eyebrows. I think I'll draw the right one, and then it will be mirrored over to the left one, and we'll just have 3 or 4 lines at the start, and then I'll treat this as an area for the ink will be helping us to fill in the color later. So that's too thick, something like that. Maybe have a little hair pointing outwards, so we get the feeling of that the eyebrows are actually made of little hairs, of small hairs. So there we go. All right. Now the eyes. I would start with a folder within the skin up here with this crease, sort of, and then the end of the upper eyelid, the lashes. First I'm drawing just a rather thick line, then I'm adding some of these of the lashes at single strokes, just like that, and maybe we'll add some line over here, because if the upper eyelid is so large, then it might fold, and we'll see we see it folding. We'll see it if it's not completely closed over here. All right, now I'll take the other eye, for it is a bit easier to draw when you're right-handed. Right there, so this comes a bit closer here, and then now we've got the inner part of it going right here, something like that. So this will be this part, and then I would add also a bit thicker line for the lower end and the lashes of the lower lid, of the lower eyelid. So now we got another crease, or the end of the actual upper lid. That would be here, and drawing it a bit more into this area, there will be the eyelashes hanging in front of it, so we won't see this everywhere, but this will become kind of, well, pink or flesh colored later on. And then we also get this area on the lower lid. I'm trying to close these areas so we can fill in the color later on. It might look a bit too dark. Just a test. Maybe we could. The switching feature really. Yeah, no. Keep the inking tool. Okay, like that. And I'm drawing it all the way into the and over there. Okay, something like that. Yeah. Right, now let's have a look at the iris and the pupil. First, I'm trying to define the end of the iris. Well, got to work on that a bit. Maybe redraw it a bit, something like that. And then we've got the phenomenon that if the light source is above the character we are drawing, then the upper eyelid will cast a shadow upon the eyeball and the iris. So we could just add a little shadow over here, especially over the iris, because there we've got a real distance between the upper eyelid and the area of the iris, the colored part of the eye over there, because there's a transparent part, and the shadow is cast upon the colored part of the eye there. It's also we can add some shadow left and right, but not as much as we've got on the iris over there. So now this is the expression is a bit, well, I'd say annoyed. We could work on that. Redraw the pupil. Do it that way. Maybe like that. Okay. Maybe I should improve or increase the resolution. Well, let's see about that. Now the eyes are still, the end of the iris is still ugly down here. This should be a bit clearer, a bit rounder, something like that. And it doesn't have to be all that just a thin line, so just that the color we are putting into the area later on will find its edges by the iris. That's not quite what I wanted over here. Well, maybe I'll fix it between the streams. All right. So now let's have a look at the inner part of the eye. Usually, when you're taking a close look at the actual anatomy of a real human being, not a comic character, then there will be another crease, another fold over here. And even if she's rather young, I think that's still okay. Yeah, maybe a bit too much. Let's decrease the size of the inking tool, just like that. All right. Now, okay. Now the nose. This is rather simple. Just the edges over here, and then the nose, the holes, and then maybe a bit of detail over here, so we get an idea where how the surface actually is made or exists there. Well, whatever. No. Okay, so now the mouth, just the outer lines. The upper end shall be rather thin because there's no shadow being cast, and here we can go a bit darker because there is actual shadow, assuming that the light source is above the character. And then the lower area, now I'm turning around the character so I can actually draw with my right hand more easily, just like that, starting in the middle and having it mirrored. And then we can go much darker over there because, well, we get shadows being cast here, so that may also be reflected in the strength, in the thickness of the line we're drawing, just like that. All right. Okay, maybe could add some cast shadow over here, something like that. Maybe that's too much. Come on, we'll do that with coloring and lighting once we're done with the inking and we've set up a decent lighting structure in Procreate. Okay, now let's just draw as a final go at the frontal image, the edge of the throat, like that, and maybe increase the size of the inking tool, and then I'm redrawing this line. Okay, so like that. Good, and then maybe there's another fold over here, and we'll see that it's will be going here, and maybe something like that, depending on the clothes. If we're actually seeing the clavicle, the bone, and at the throat down there, where these muscle strands grasp the bones. I think I have to redraw the iris once again later, but I'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, so now I will deactivate the assisted drawing. So going here and saying, okay, drawing assist, just deactivate it, reactivate the mask as the drawing area. Are we still here? Yeah, but we are not mirrored. That's good. So right now I can draw these non-symmetrical features like this strand of hair over here. We're going down there and closing it, for we know we want to fill it later on automatically with the bucket tool, or just with the, there's no bucket actually in Procreate, but with a tool easily filling areas with a certain color. And over there, okay, that's right. Maybe a crease, a fold over here. Some part of the skin might be there, or we can actually add a bit of shadow here. And maybe also in the, okay, there could be, here we could have used the mirroring tool again, just adding a bit of shadow with the inking itself. And maybe below the ears, yeah. That will be very dark. There will be almost no light there. A bit of structure within the hair might be useful or appropriate. Something like that. And maybe one or two of these lines up here. So we get an idea that this will be hair up here. So it really doesn't need much of it. It's just to give the viewer the idea that, well, this is actually hair. Okay, now let's go to the side view over here. We've got some 5 to 10 minutes left. I think we'll make it in half an hour overall. And now, which the size is okay. Just take the first stroke for this line. Could also correct it later on if needed. And now let's see. Alright, still I think the ear is a bit too far away from the front. We could fix this later. I just flip it around and then I'll have an even easier time drawing the outlines in the front part. What's this one here? Oh, there we got some other strands of hair. Something like that. And then we go in and we're taking the eraser, we're getting rid of these lines over here, which are not really what we wanted. Okay, like that. And now let's add the rest of the, not quite, the rest of the hair, like that. So something like that. Oh, come on. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Then we've got some hair starting here, and the strand is flowing behind the ears. Also here, then we're over this hairstyle device, and I still don't know what the name would be in English. In German it would be Haarreif. Well, let's see. I'll look that up today once I'm done for now. So, okay, now like that. There will be some hair over there. Something like that. So then 1 or 2 lines in the at the back of the head, just to tell the viewer, okay, there are several strands of hair. So okay, write that. Good. Now, okay, let's have the make the silhouette of for the face, like that. The nose, just following our pencil sketch that we did in the last session. So there we are. Over here. This one. So it's still not the curvature that I'd like. So more like this, and a slight turn, yeah, like that. A slight turn in the other direction before the end of the lip. So then the jawline. So like that. We go in like this. Okay, this is fine. And then we will of the throat right there. Okay, I think this could work. Maybe a bit too far. Oh, we'll see. Okay, now let's take the ear, and then I'm gonna flip it, so I'll have easier time drawing the ear right now, being right-handed. Something like that. Then, and the lower part maybe becoming a bit darker because light comes from above. And well, maybe let's just close this line over here, and with the strands of hair coming out behind the ear, so we'll have another line like that. Maybe one or two strands are peeking out of it. We see it right there, and then maybe we've got some skin showing through like that, and somewhere here, no, so that somewhere there, the hair will flow onto the back. So something like that. Good. All right, now there are some things we could optimize. For example, the area below the nose. This could be fixed. So a bit higher up here, then like that. Good, all right. So then this is a flaw right there. Remove it, and then the nostrils. Is it nostrils with humans, or is it just nose holes, or what would you say? I'm not quite sure. So another vocabulary entry to look up. And the eyebrows. Again, adding some structure there to give the viewer a hint that, well, it's actually hair and not just, well, a straight line. It's a natural structure, it's organic, it's biology. So, and then the upper lid, which is, or looks much too short here. There we go, higher up, like that. And then we have this here, and a hint of the fold of the crease over there. So, and then we actually see the length of the eyelashes right here. And we're drawing the border right there. Maybe one or two or three and more eyelashes. And I think I need another tool for the eraser. Let's take the same one, so we get crisp outlines even when using the eraser. Like that. Okay. And the iris. Then the pupil inside the iris. And this part over here, a bit of the shadow, as I mentioned earlier. And then the lower lid. Also have this. And remember, we want to fill automatically, or at least very fast, the inside of the areas. So we need to close these forms and maybe open them up later again if we want to look a bit, well, lighter and not this. That's so rigid. And I think the forehead is a bit too steep. This then we could actually take that and have a bit. It's a bit farther in, so like that. That's all right. She's still a bit sad, but well, remember, she's a gothic comic hero, so maybe that's okay. Right, over there. Okay. So let's have that. So close the form so you can later easily color all the areas here, and fast. And then I've got to close the form over there. I forgot to do this here. Something like that. And there also. I think I have to improve on the resolution. So, alright, now there's still some lines left. I'm not quite sure if I want to. I could still improve on the mouth on the side view, but well, okay, I will do this later on, or test if I can improve on that. So this one, just the folding of the ear, or somewhere here, this way, yeah, right, somewhere like that. And then we could actually add some ink shadow right here. I generally prefer to have the shadow in the coloring and lighting phase. It's much more flexible than this, but some parts are so dark they can actually be included in the inking stage. All right. So maybe that's too much. Nah, it doesn't look good. Okay, come on. Let's reduce this to much lighter. Something like that. It's actually a kind of a shadow I'm also adding here for the cheekbones. Yeah. Okay, now this is how far we got today with the inking. And if I turn off the pencil part, now we see how the inking is done. I'll still correct the iris over there, this so it looks a bit smoother. And well, once that is done, we'll have another streaming session sometime tomorrow, I guess around 8 o'clock again, Central European time, summertime. And well, there are no questions. Alright, so nobody asked a question, so I think I can skip the question and answer part. And well, I would be glad if you would show up at my next streaming session when we start to color our hero over here. And well, anyway, this stream will be online as a video soon. Okay, see you. Thanks. Bye.